Imagine working in a shop like this, or this. Which one is for you? If your choice is to have more and better lighting, you are in the right place. For the next few minutes, we will share some thoughts about electricity and lighting for your shop. But before we get to it, we have a few words from our local inspector. Mr. Inspector?
Yes, I have spoken with Sparky, and he is not a licensed electrician and is not allowed to explicitly show you how to wire your shop step by step. The risk to you and your equipment and your building is far too great. Back to you, Sparky.
Thank you, Inspector. What I will give you is a way to plan intelligently. The numbers, the concepts, and the decisions that are important. This way you can walk into a conversation with some degree of knowledge. Electricity is invisible, but every saw, drill, sander, light, and charger depends on it. If you don't have enough power, everything in your shop will slow down. But when you plan power correctly, everything runs seamlessly and up to speed. Don't worry, we're not going to get buried in electrical engineering. Just a few key ideas in plain English. Volts are like pressure. Most outlets in the US deliver 120 volts. Big tools like welders or large air compressors may need 240 volts. Amps are how much juice a tool pulls. A shop vac might draw 12 amps. A table saw could pull 15 amps. You can find the amp draw on the label on the power tool. Many of these power tools will pull more amps on startup than steady running. Typical 110-volt outlets are 15 amps or 20 amps. There is also an 80% safety factor for the outlets. That means a 20-amp circuit should draw no more than 16 amps continuously. This prevents the breaker from tripping on the startup surge. The circuit wire is sized to match the amp draw. A typical 20-amp circuit uses a 12-gauge wire. The smaller the gauge number, the thicker the wire is and the more amps it can handle. Circuits are the lanes that carry electricity from your breaker panel. A typical lane is 15 or 20 amps wide. If you jam too much traffic, too many tools, onto one lane, it clogs. The secret is that in a one-person shop, only one power tool is usually running at a time. No one, and I mean no one, has ever complained about having too many outlets in a shop. Plan generously. In my shop, I have quad outlets every 4 feet all around the outside walls. That's 4 plugs in one box. They keep you from stringing power strips everywhere, and they look cleaner. I don't run 4 tools at one time on the same outlet, but the quad allows 4 tools to remain plugged in and ready to use when it's time. One other thing about my quad outlets, those outlets are on 3 different circuits, so that no 2 adjacent quads are on the same circuit. It cost me more to do it that way, but I never have had a problem overloading a circuit. And don't forget the ceiling. Overhead outlets are perfect for hanging cord reels or plugging in overhead lights. That one small decision saves a ton of frustration later. Extension cords aren't evil, but I'm not a fan. To me, they are clutter, get tangled, and are a trip hazard. If they become damaged, they are a short-circuit hazard. However, sometimes they are needed, and they have to be used smartly. Cheap, thin cords are an accident waiting to happen. Get the heavy-gauge cords, 12 or 14 AWG. That thicker wire handles the amps safely. For power strips, buy quality. Don't daisy-chain strips together. Good lighting makes the shop feel bigger, cleaner, and more inviting. Let's talk lumens. Lumens are how we measure brightness. Forget watts. That's just how much energy a bulb uses. Lumens are what your eyes care about. For a bright, usable shop, you want somewhere in the range of 70 to 100 lumens per square foot over your main work area. That sounds technical, but here's a quick example. A 4-foot LED shop light puts out about 4,000 lumens. If your workbench is 8 feet long, you'll probably want 2 or 3 lights directly above it. And don't just think about total light, think about shadows. If your light is only on one side, your own body will cast a shadow right onto the work. That's why I like LED shop lights in a grid pattern. In my shop, I have an array of 4-foot 5,000 lumen LED lights in 6 rows of 4 each. I also have 8-foot ceilings. This arrangement is pleasant to work in, and there are no shadows. But I use task lighting for some intricate work because these old eyes aren't what they used to be. Another detail most people overlook is color temperature, measured in kelvins. Warm white, 2,700 Kelvin, is cozy, like a living room. Neutral white, 4,000 Kelvin, is balanced. Cool white, 5,000 Kelvin and up, mimics daylight. Over time, your shop will grow. Maybe today it's just a drill, a sander, and a saw. Tomorrow it's a dust collector, a compressor, maybe even a welder. Each of those has power demands. Some of these will require more power to run, 220 volts. Be aware, there is 220-volt single phase used in residential areas. But for the heavy industrial machines, there is 220 volts three-phase. Getting three-phase power to your house is probably not going to happen. Fortunately, a phase converter is available to provide the power if needed. I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of stuff to buy. Got it. You don't need it all at one time. Start with your grand plan. At the beginning, you may have to only use task lighting that just lights up your dedicated work area. One more thing about lighting your shop. You will get more bang for your buck by painting the walls and ceiling white. Gloss white can lead to more glare, but flat white can reflect a good amount of light and make your shop brighter. For me, I painted my walls white on top, gray on bottom, with a red stripe dividing the two colors. The top white and the white ceiling reflect the light. The lower gray hides scuffs and minor damage and is easy to touch up if needed. Lighting may not seem like much, but every time you walk in the shop and turn on those lights, it will be like magic and make your shop come alive again. This is Sparky. I'll see you in episode 3, where we'll build the workbench. That's where the planning turns into sawdust, and believe me, you don't want to miss it. See you soon. Sparky, out.